you guys. Hope everyone is doing good. We are back with another youth program. So, before anything, I do want to say if you guys want to find us, we are located in 15677 Village Drive, Victorville. And
So what's up, guys? Welcome to one more program for the youth. It's been 2 weeks because we've been busy with activities. We've been doing a lot of stuff, as you guys know. If you guys are keeping up in the page, which is Ebenezer Victorville, or if you want to find it quicker, it's at Ebenezer Victorville 12. Remember that the 12 at the end. Otherwise, you're gonna get a lot of pages, and we don't want that. Anyways, um, so as you guys saw on the page, we had a lot of activities going on this weekend. We had the anniversary. We had Hermano Jorge Hines. We had Apostle Freddy Villatoro. We had Apostle Edwin. It was a huge blessing. I suggest you guys go back and watch it. Also, we have Instagram now. We're barely posting now. We're barely posting again. So it's the same thing. Ebenezer Victorville 12. All our social medias are Ebenezer Victorville 12, except for YouTube. YouTube is just Ebenezer Victorville. Anyways, so hello, Dulce.
okay, so we're gonna pray. Oh, gracias, Señor, por esta hermosa día que nos has permitido tener, Señor. Gracias porque nos permitiste venir aquí, Señor. Tener, Señor, y dar la palabra una vez más, Señor. Por favor, úsame y usa a Señor Jesús, que vamos a dar tu palabra, Señor. Que seas tú hablando medio de nosotros, Señor, y que demos esa palabra y que toquen los corazones a los jóvenes, Señor Jesús. Seas tú usándonos, Señor, y que no nos dejes decir palabras, Señor, o cosas que nos vienen de ti, Señor Jesús.
Amen.
Okay, so my what I got for you guys today, so my my tema I put anger. So today we're gonna talk about anger and how anger comes into more the youth and how like it makes us like it destroys us in a way. And I put how do we take it out? And then I put we take out anger in our own actions and then what we say, like what we say, our words, and then I don't know if you want to say other things that I
Yeah.
have others, but
So I feel like anger. It's really complicated topic because a lot of I mean all of us feel anger. I don't think there's ever been a moment where a human hasn't felt mad about something. Unless you're perfect, which I don't think so because no one is perfect. But anger is it's a normal feeling. Feeling anger it's completely normal. If you feel mad, it's what you do after you get mad that makes things complicated because a lot of us act um, with our feelings. How many times have you gotten mad and like you say something that you don't mean? Well, you probably mean it. You say something that you don't mean, but you still say it because you're mad. I'm pretty sure we all have those kind of incidents. In our lives where we got mad. And yeah, so
yeah. Okay, so I put right here other things that we can that cause anger can be a bit ambition. I put frustrations, like stress kind of way, like how mostly school and your job can cause you to stress, and then like you do get anger out of that as well. Challenges, what you go through, like there's a lot of challenges in our lives that happen, and then some of them, we don't know how to handle them, and we become angry. And then I put events anywhere that we go or whatever happens. We can have anger as well. And I put social media because social media can cause us to be angry as well, like a lot of things. Like they attack you, social media be attacking you, and then we take it sometimes. Well, the things that they say can make you angry. So I put right here. I said anger only leads us to trouble, and I think that is true because anger does only lead us to trouble because what we say, I like we mean it. In my opinion, I think that whatever you say out of anger, you mean it. So like that's my opinion. I don't know, but whatever you say out of anger or whatever anybody else tells you out of anger, I think that they mean it because they're not thinking, So you get whatever like it's really in your heart.
yeah, yeah, because you probably shouldn't say it, but you're still gonna say it because you're mad.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you mean it, but you shouldn't say it. You know.
Yeah. So so basically, yeah. So what we say, we have to be careful what we say because what we say, those words can affect and destroy other people as well. And then, like if someone has ever like gotten their anger out of you, you know how it feels. So I put right here. I don't know if you want to read it. You want to read it?
What is it?
I put Proverbios 16, 1, 2.
Proverbios 16. Well, I closed my Bible. That my bad.
I got it. You got it or you want me?
You can do it.
Okay, so Proverbios 16, 1, 1, 2. So it says, del hombre son las disposiciones del corazón, más de Jehová es la respuesta de la lengua. Todos los caminos del hombre son limpios en su propia opinión, pero Jehová pasa los espíritus. So basically, I put right here, we choose what we want and we choose what we say. So whatever we're going through, like whatever you get out, we choose what we're gonna say, you know. And it can affect like yourself later on because of how you feel. Like you know how like when you say things out of anger after you regret what you say, and that's something we should be careful and then like catch ourselves while we're saying it and then leave it in God's hands while like we're saying it, where we're going through that.
Yeah.
Like that. That. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know how you guys ever had this fake conversations in the shower, where you're like arguing with yourself. You know, sometimes you feel like you're winning the argument. You know, you're like, oh, I should have said this. You know, I should have said that. You know, and then you start getting mad at yourself because you didn't say something. But then, have you thought about that maybe God didn't want you to say a certain thing, or that maybe God didn't want you to win that argument to prevent things? You know, like I said, getting mad is not a bad feeling. It depends what you do after. Getting like controlling your emotions after you get mad. It's what's it called? It's a virtue, you know. Learning how to control your emotions. It's something that I feel like all of us should aspire to do. You know, like one of the gifts from the Holy Spirit is self control. You know, and I feel like once you get self control, then it will help you with managing your anger, if that makes sense. So.
So yeah, that makes sense. So basically, just how he said about like later on, we think about what we could have said, and then you even be getting mad at yourself because you didn't even say it, and you're like, I could have won that argument, you know. And we shouldn't be doing that because that's like letting the devil like come into your life and like letting him be like, oh, you should have said this, you know.
You're letting the devil influence you in
whatever. Like right after, that's when all the words that you could have said, they come into your mind. I've been there. Like I know we all been there.
I got mine yesterday, so.
Okay, so I also put right here Efesios 4:26. Okay, so it says, in your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. And do not give the devil a foothold. So, basically, in your anger, do not sin. And do not say stuff and do not do stuff that you're going to regret later on. Because we know that when we're angry, we do not think, like I said. We do not feel, we do not think. We just say, like, how we really, like, what we really have inside, you know? And more with the person. If you're arguing with the person or like you're trying to come for that person, you know what you've thought about them, you're going to say it in that argument. And if they're coming to you, you're going to come more for them. So, and do not, like your actions, do not let your actions hurt others, you know, because we can like hurt people physically, like not like that, but like emotionally, I mean physically and verbally too.
Yeah. So I feel like sometimes we take anger as an excuse to let the truth out, you know. I feel like you're like, oh, I'm mad already, you know. I'm already screwing up. Let's say I'm already screwing something up. Might as well just finish it, you know. And then that's I feel like that's what anger it's about, you know. You take that excuse since you're already like okay like you're already like heated, you know. You're already fooled by emotions. You're like okay like well saying this wouldn't hurt until you say it, and then you know what kind of consequence saying that can bring to you, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys ever been in like in a situation that like someone is like getting their anger out on you, and after they're like, oh, I'm sorry, it was just the anger that got into me, you know, like they try to say sorry for what they said, but they actually mean it, you know. That's why
Yeah.
I'm saying it, whatever you get out of anger you actually mean. So we have to be careful, because how we feel for that person, or how we feel and what we have in our hearts, because whatever we have in our hearts we say it, you know, and like we show it.
Also, be careful who you let your anger out on. You know, sometimes we know we let it out on people that love us the most. Like you let them out on your you let her out on your mom. You know, let's say you let her out on your sister or your brother, your siblings. You know, you let it out on them, even though it's not their fault. You know, like you come mad and then you let it out on them, which is, if you think about it, it's well, if you don't even have to think about it. It's just straight up wrong letting your anger out on people that it have anything to do with the anger, you know, or whatever happened to you. Or sometimes, you know, if you're married or your significant other, you know, you let her out on your significant other, you know, which media saying, all right. Oh, I mean, you know, shout out Naomi, you know, she just got married. And then one time, you know, and we had Litzy here, and then we had Wendy. Shout out Wendy and Litzy. You know what I mean? And then and then what's it called? So yeah, we let her out on a significant other, or your sister, or your brother, or your mom, or your grandma, or your cat. You get the point. You know, you let her out on people. So you gotta be careful who you let her out on. You know, sometimes it's the grown people, and they might take it to the heart because they don't know what. You know, sometimes you come home and like your mom doesn't know like you had a bad day. You know, and you automatically come and you're like, oh, I'm mad, and you know she doesn't know you're mad, but you automatically come growing at her, and then that's bad. Cause
With what we say, honestly, like you can tell when someone is having a bad day. You can tell when somebody is going through stuff. But sometimes, like you said, we come for people that don't even have nothing to do with what happened or what we got. Sometimes we're the ones that we get ourselves, like we get into that place that got us mad, you know. I think that we have to be careful, like he said, we have to be careful with who we get it out on, especially because those words and whatever we do, they can hurt people. And like you know how they said, whatever comes out your mouth, you know. So
yeah,
yeah, you gonna say something?
no.
No? Okay, so because I see you looking at me, so
Yeah,
all right,
I don't
so
want to make it awkward.
okay, so I have. You want to read it now?
What is it?
James 1:19.
James 1:19.
Yes.
James James 1:19. So James 1:19 says, "Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God." Lucky boy. Okay.
No, no, it's fine.
Okay.
So the one I have, it says, it's basically the same thing, but it says, "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." So what I put, where is it? Okay, so I put, let's have our ears open with what God wants us to hear, you know, God's path. And then I said, let's not be quick to talk when we don't know what's happening. You know, like sometimes have you been in the situation that like you don't even know what's happening, and you go off on someone because you think you're right.
Or sometimes your environment makes you mad too. I don't. Well, you don't drive, but I'm pretty sure like me, I drive already. I already got my license. Don't you ever don't you ever like drive and you see somebody in front of you like speeding, like going super fast, and then it makes you mad. It's like you're like, I'm having a good day, you know, and I'm driving my speed limit, and I see somebody in front of me like driving like fast and like swerving two lanes, you know, and like for some reason like that environment I get mad and then I start speeding too. Yeah, like, and I start honking. I'm like, why, like, you know, like you get mad. So sometimes like your environment, like you gotta pick your environment too, you know. You can't be around an environment that constantly makes you mad, you know. So choose your friends too, because you know sometimes friends can make you mad a lot, and you don't realize until like you leave high school or like you leave them and you don't see them anymore. So yeah, choose your environment, because sometimes your own environment can make you mad without you even being mad.
Yes. So sometimes you even get sent people to see how you're really gonna react to it. You know, you get sent situations, and then you don't even know that it was sent by God to see like like really you were gonna react to it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we like pray about it, and then we know we got this, but we really don't, and then we really don't know that it was sent by him. I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but like it's like whatever, like people are sent, by the devil to, test you to see if you're actually like good with God or not.
I feel like you don't know you got anger issues until you get tested,
Yes.
Where you're like, yeah, I'm okay because no one has made you mad lately, or like maybe you had anger issues and then you're like, oh, I changed, like I haven't gotten mad, but then sometimes someone makes you mad and you're like, oh, I haven't really changed.
Yeah.
So or like when when you do ayuno, the first thing that comes your way is trial, it's that test, maybe you're ayunando for to change your anger issues, and then the first thing you get tested with is it's someone making you mad, and then that's when you know if you really change or not, so also be careful with that. Be ready for the test, and then be ready to when somebody actually makes you mad, like actually mad, and see how you react, and then in there you'll realize if you really change or not.
Yeah. So like I want to talk about again what you said, what we're going through. Sometimes we take it out on people, even though it's none of their not business, but like it's none of like whatever is happening. And I feel like we shouldn't do that, because if it's our own, we shouldn't be coming to people and taking it out. We should be coming to God and leaving it all in His hands, because He does take control of everything. And we should, trust. We should trust Him in the process and whatever is going on, and whatever He's sending us to, like the test, like you said. Do you want to talk about what you had?
Do you have anything else to add?
Yeah.
All right, just finish your thing, and I'll
talk
right now. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So, the last thing I put: do not get angry at God or at the world because of what we are going through. Better yet, give thanks to God that He's making you stronger. So, there has been a lot of things that may come to your life, and then like anger or people like hurting you and stuff, and we have to take it honestly. Like we do get hurt, and we bite what people say to us, but they make us stronger. If you really think about it, like you're ready for like whatever's coming next. Like you see what's gonna, like you're ready. I don't know how to explain it. Like you're ready for your next and what you're gonna see in them.
It's like the people that make you the mad, like they make you mad the most. It's the people that are like forming you to whatever comes. Because like I'm gonna put my sister for example. She makes me mad, Of course, we're siblings. We get mad at each other, But I feel like her making me mad, like, forms me to, like, deal with other people that make me mad, Like I could snap at her, because she's my sister, She's not a random on the street. But then I'm already, like, used to, like, dealing with, with someone making me mad because she makes me mad.
So let's not make it a habit, honestly. Let's change, and let's not let anger or whatever is happening.
Honestly, just breathe it in. Honestly, just breathe it in. I feel like we like stressed about things that we can't even control, and then we just stressed about like things that they don't really like. They don't have importance in our life, And we just get mad, just to get mad, Like you just like let it be, like you don't have to get that mad.
We try to fix whatever is happening in our lives when we know we can't, like.
And you stress yourself out trying to fix something that you can't fix, Yeah. Like there's just things in life that you simply cannot fix, but since you want to have control over your life rather than God having control over your life, you make yourself mad because you don't have that. You don't have that trust in God where you're like, okay, he has it, Like whatever happens, your goal in there, it's still gonna remain your goal. Nothing's gonna change it just because you had an inconvenience, And that's what I feel is wrong with this generation, that we let any inconvenience determine our future, and that shouldn't happen because, like little inconveniences don't make us who we are, but it's the way we make situations that make us who we are.
So this whole thing, basically trust in God and let Him take control of what like is happening, and then try to not take control of it yourself, because we do not got it like at all. Even though we think we do, we do not got it. And then we think we're strong enough, and then we just put ourselves and hurt ourselves more. The more we try and we say we got it, we hurt ourselves more, and it just destroys us so much. And just because we can't leave it in God's hands and wait. That's the thing too. We can't wait. Like that's you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
we're so impatient.
yeah.
You can talk about what.
Yeah,
Why you have
yeah. We're so impatient. And then like I said, I don't want to live my life stressed about every little thing that happens to me. When that's not a way of living, you know, being stressed about everything, be anxious about everything. It's not a way to live. You know, I feel like my definition of living the life is it's not having luxuries but living at peace with yourself, you know.
Yes.
Um so we've been talking about a lot of things, you know, but I feel like we haven't touched you know, people who actually got mad in the Bible, you know, because there's a lot of examples that of people that got mad in the Bible, but I feel like the most critical, not critical, but like the most notorious, at least to me, it's Moses when he you know, when he like, you know, messes up the rock, I guess. So on Numbers 28 20 Numbers 20 and 8, it says take the rod and you and your brother Aaron assemble the congregation and speak to the rock before their eyes, that it may yield its water. You shall thus bring forth water for them out of the rock, and let the congregation and their beasts drink. And then on Numbers 20 verse 9, it says, so Moses took the rod from before the Lord, just as he had commanded him. And Numbers 10, it says, and Moses and Aaron gathered the assembly before the rock, and he said to them, listen now, you rebels, shall we bring forth water for you out of this rock? And then Numbers 20:11 says, then Moses lifted up his hand and struck the rock twice and with his rod, and water came out forth abundantly, and the congregation of beast drink. Okay, so we go back to 28, and God clearly says that you may speak to the rock. But if when we jump forward to 2011, Moses was already frustrated at the people, you know. So he was so frustrated, and in his anger, he struck the rock twice rather than speaking to it, like they said on Numbers 28. So we could see that it took a turn. It literally took two verses for him to get mad. It's because, you know, it's from 8 to 11, and then in 8 you get instructions, and then two verses later he's already mad, you know. So he's mad, you know, and he comes and he strikes the rock out of his anger, you know, and then that's the one, you know, he pretty much disobeyed God, even though the people still got their blessing, because it says that water did come out abundantly, but he still disobeyed God, you know. And then so yeah, that's something we have to be careful of, because some people say that, I don't know if he didn't go to heaven, something like that. I don't know if he did or not. Some people say that he didn't. Some people say he did. Uh, you know, if somebody can answer my question in the comments, that'll be nice. If he went to heaven or not, you know, you could talk to us. You know, we're looking at the Facebook right now, so we see your comments. So if you could clarify the question for me, that'll be super nice. But yeah, so let's say he didn't go to heaven. Let's just say in this scenario he did not go to heaven. You know, it could cost you. It could cost you. It cost him his. It cost him his ticket to heaven, just because he got mad. So now let's think about what. Let's say it's not gonna cost us heaven, but it could cost us relationship, friendships, opportunities. We could burn bridges, you know, for because we don't know how to act, you know. So yeah, that's
Yeah, we can hurt people by just the smallest thing ever, and just how he like we can say that he exploded it like in 1 minute. You know, like this, he was supposed to take it. He was supposed to take it calm, but he didn't. He got angry, and
he was supposed to speak to the rock.
he was yeah, and he got.
And I feel like that's,
Angry.
you know, like sometimes speaking rather than doing something, it leads the way, because like the verse says, he says speak to the rock, but then he got mad, and we could we could relate to this in real life, you know. We could solve problems by talking, you know, by by saying your emotions, you know, which is kind of hard for humans to do, to share our emotions, because you know, I've been there before where you don't want to say anything just to avoid problems, but in reality, you're making a bigger problem by not speaking your emotions and getting mad at people, you know. So speaking about your emotions to your mom, your parents, your authorities, to anybody, speaking your emotions, it's sometimes better than getting mad because your emotions, you know. So I feel like holding emotions in, it's what kills us, you know. So let out your emotions. It's okay to let out your emotions.
Yes, let out your emotions. Do not let it like fill you in. Do not take it all in, and then after you explode, like literally, like on person who does not even, deserve to be
Yeah.
getting that anger out. And I think it does, like what he was saying, it does matter too. I mean, it's important to not keep it in and communicate it. Like if you're when you're with someone, like your significant other or like your mom or your dad, like talk it out. And I think that's the most problems with relationships.
Yeah.
Like you don't talk it out,
I
and
feel
all
like
you do is
communication goes a long way.
Communication
And
is
that's
the
what's
way.
wrong with this generation, and that's why we see a lot of relationships failing because we with this generation you simply does not know how to communicate, and part of that problem is social media. part of
Yeah.
part of that problem of not communicating is that we're so used to texting, we're so used to like FaceTiming, calling, Snapchatting, that we don't know how to portray our communications because the only thing that's making us share our feelings it's emojis. And even then
It changes the whole thing.
and even then emojis can be misinterpreted, you know.
Yes.
Like when I'm laughing I put the crying emoji.
Yeah.
You know what does crying have to do with me laughing, you know, but I still put it. And so like I said, or for some people that are petty, you know, they put a smiley face and then you don't know if they're happy or
It actually changes the whole
or if they
communication.
you don't know if they
Emojis
want to
can-
kill you or they're happy at you. So
Yeah.
so I feel like social media it's a huge problem because we're so used to portraying our communications through text, emojis, you know, uh, emotes, you know, all those things that we don't know how. So this generation does not know how to share their emotions, and that's why a lot of even if you're young, you know, even if you're like 15, 16, you know, 18, 19, 20, even in your 30s, you know, because I know a lot of old people that use social media. so you know, I feel like part of that is social media, you know. So I feel like that's why relationships nowadays do not last as long as they did before because they don't know how to express their feelings.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this and you feel like you're having problems with your significant other because you don't know how to portray your emotions, just work on it. I feel like a simple
Communicate with your significant other and express your feelings, express what you feel, and then how you really feel. It can really change. You talking it out, it can really change the whole.
a little hey I don't like this can change. A little I don't like this or I don't like how you're acting can stress the relationship from 2 months to 4 years or 5 years or 6 years, you know, or even a marriage if because that's what we should be that's what we all should be aspiring for, dating to married.
Communication advice come with.
So I feel like we should I feel like our goal as Christian is
Relationship advice.
so I feel like as Christians our goal has to be talking to married, not talking to mess around.
Wow, that's actually nice. Okay, so it got into anger to relationship.
Well,
Everything has to do with
because that's how a lot of relationships end because they end up getting mad at each other, and then we don't only see it with young people, we see it with older people, you know. You know, we see it. You know, it happens in all stages of relationship.
And if you really notice, they really like the most people that break up is through text.
Yeah.
And all because they don't know how to express their feelings, so they don't know how to like actually talk it out or text it like the right way. Oh no, okay.
So like I said, like learn how to communicate. Learn how to communicate.
How to communicate and do not ruin other people's day because
Do
of
not
what you're
ruin
doing.
something you work so hard for, because you're mad. Like Moses did. You know, he had a promise from God and he ruined it because he got mad and he was frustrated.
Yes. Amen.
So
I think that's it, no?
I think that's all we had.
The whole
Yeah.
thema that we brought for you guys. So.
Yeah, that's it. So do not get mad. It's mad to get mad. It's mad. I mean, it's bad to get mad. It's bad to get mad. Yeah.
Keep calm. Keep your peace, and then do not let things come out the wrong way.
Mommy wants to say something. You could yell it if you want.
Watch out with your words, honestly. Watch out with what you say, because it can really destroy.
Yeah, they could destroy people, relationships, all the things you work for. And this word really spoke to me. I'm not speaking because we're not speaking because you're speaking. I feel like the word speaks to you first, then it speaks to everybody else. Because I am one of those people that bottle up their emotions. Not because I don't like sharing my emotions, but because I feel like I'm bugging people by sharing my emotions. When you hold those emotions of anger, and then there's times where I explode, and I messed up all the hard work that I've done because I get mad. It's happened here in church, in whatever ministry God put me under. It's happened at home. It's happened at school, and then there's a point where you get tired of that happens to you over and over and over. So coming from a person who bottles up their emotion and explodes in anger, it's a bad feeling, But thank God I changed because I don't get as mad anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. So thanks for coming to the youth service one more time. Like I said, we have services Fridays at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Sundays at 10 a.m. We also have our youth programs here. It's always at 7:30. If we start a little late, we are very sorry. We always start. We normally start like 4 minutes late, but it's supposed to start at 7:30. But you stick by until we start because we just started the program like a couple of months ago, and then we're still learning along the way how the new system works in here. It's not the same as working with the expensive equipment out there. But yeah, so remember it's 7:30, but if we don't start 7:35, 7:34, around there. We also have promos miércoles, Wednesdays. That's for if you speak Spanish, I suggest you connect. We have evangelism. We have word with the woman. We have what else do we have? We have oración, intercesión, prayer, and we have we always have a word with a pastor. And then and we also have monthly youth services. So pay attention to the page because we always announce them. Adolescentes, same thing. Fridays, our service Fridays. We also have a word for adolescent. I'm sorry, there's things that people should know. Fridays we have words for adolescentes, and then once a month we have our general youth service. So that's that. So thanks for coming, guys. Bye. All right. So if you could pray for us, if you could pray for us. I forgot my bad.
Gracias, Señor, por esta hermosa, Señor Jesús, palabra que nos permitiste dar, Señor Jesús. Gracias porque nos usaste, Señor, nos hablaste, Señor, como dijo Jared, primeramente a nosotros, Señor, y después jóvenes, Señor Jesús, o a la gente que está viendo, Señor Jesús. Seas tú, Padre amado, que esta palabra, no importa si fue poquito, Señor Jesús, que se les quede en los corazones de cualquier gente que vio, Señor Jesús, o que va a ver, Señor Jesús. Guíanos, Señor Jesús, para que no nos enojemos, Señor, y lo saquemos, Señor, en una manera que no tiene que salir, Señor. Ayúdanos con nuestras emociones, Señor, y guíanos, Señor Jesús. Amén, amén.
Are we still recording? Yeah, we're still recording. All right, bye.